The Valley High School sports community was rocked when a Hamilton High School football player was arrested, charged as an adult for child molestation, kidnapping, and aggravated assault. One of 3 teammates charged in March in relation to hazing, and that really was only the beginning.
Yeah, since then, Chandler police recommended criminal charges be filed against Hamilton's principal, Ken James, and the former football coach, Steve Bellis. Criminal defense attorney Jason Lamm joining us this morning with all the legal talk surrounding this case. It's really incredible.
You know, this is just a big storm. We've got criminal charges against players. We've got a submittal for criminal charges, that is a request to the county attorney by Chandler Police for players. And now we have the threats of civil litigation by the victims against Chandler and the school district. So a whole lot of things going on as we kick off this high school football season.
Yeah, and I know we've heard about cases like this in the past, but I'm not familiar with criminal or recommendations for criminal charges, and that's what we heard from the Chandler Police Department, assuming that the leadership here knew this was going on and allowed it to go on, or didn't report it appropriately.
Well, the essence of the criminal allegation is that school administration officials, a principal, an athletic director, and the head coach knew about this behavior, but they failed to report it as they are required to do as mandatory reporters. That could constitute a criminal violation. However, they haven't been arrested. And when someone's arrested, they're taken before a judge, and the judge decides if there's probable cause for an arrest. Here, law enforcement has simply submitted it to the county attorney for review. There's not even probable cause at this point. It's just simply something that the county attorney is looking at, and no decision has been made as of yet. So don't jump to any conclusions about guilt or wrongdoing.
And by the way, the coach, Coach Bellis, was on Brad Sesmat's Arizona 360 sports show. I'm not sure when this was, but said he didn't know anything about it, or they would have stopped it. How difficult would that be to prove they either knew or didn't know?
Well, it's going to come down, Scott, to witness interviews. Police officers are going to have to talk to players, other members of the school community that claim that there was knowledge, and they're going to have to prove that. But prosecutors are going to have to find that there's a reasonable likelihood of conviction. And that burden of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt if they're going to charge the school officials. And it sounds like that's a long way away. A lot of work needs to be done.
Different circumstances for the civil cases that appear to be presented to the district, right?
Correct. So far, 5 victims have come forward, and the 5th was just yesterday, and they're seeking a total of $34 million. Now, it's only a notice of claim, and let me explain to you guys and the people at home what that means. If you're going to sue a governmental entity in Arizona, you have to serve them with what's called a notice of claim. It's a glorified letter that explains the facts and circumstances of why you think there's liability, and you throw out a number for which the case can be settled for. Now here it's $34 million. And as an attorney who not only does criminal defense, but I've represented individuals against governmental entities. I'm doing so right now, as you both know. There's 2 ways to approach it. One, you throw out a sky-high number. You know it's not going to settle at that number, or you put in a number that you can work with. And of course, if the government decides not to settle for that amount, in this case $34 million, then you have to file a lawsuit. And that would be the next step. But at this point, it's just simply a request by the victim's attorneys to settle the case for a specified amount, but it's not going to happen at that number.
Changes the tone of the football season as those kids
sure
hit the
does.
field
It's a
this
big cloud.
Friday night.
Cloud. Yeah, and probably there for a while, huh?
Well, it's got to be hard for those players, and the coaches have got to say, you just, keep your head in the field, do what you need to do, and this is all noise, and hopefully the kids will have a good, strong season, and they can keep this as much in the background as one could.
Well,
Jason, thank
you. As always, we appreciate it.
Jason Lamm, Phoenix criminal defense attorney. Time now is 8:14. Let's check on in with Gina.